Hello and welcome to episode number 2.
Oh, not a good start.
All that confidence. I feel like we've been battered from pillar to post. Where do we start?
Where did we go wrong?
Well, let's pull up what happened last week. We lost, by the way. For those of you who
got smashed, really.
Yeah.
In fantasy terms, wasn't even close.
Wasn't even close. So this was the situation. We lost to the Melted Butters by it wasn't too bad.
It is in fantasy terms.
Okay.
It is. We didn't even make it a contest. What did he do here? He used the loophole for your
Bolter.
mate Noah Bolter, who
No.
played the game of his life against Carlton.
Yeah.
And then where do we get screwed? Jai Newcomb scored a big...
Well, John Newcomb, Josh Dacos.
And then we ultimately went Oliver over Gawn, but even so, even if we had Gawn as captain, we still would have come up short. Lockie Ash, underwhelming. Our forward line.
We felt the loss of Doc.
Yeah, we did.
And that's kind of...
And we're feeling it even more coming into this week.
Yep.
And then look at that forward. You're not winning a game with that
Jack
forward
Lacocious.
line.
So atrocious.
Oh.
Just...
It's on us, though, to not have taken into account the weather conditions.
Yes.
In the Gold Coast.
True, we did not prepare.
No, we didn't. And we're still not prepared for this week either.
Well, the only other option would have been if, we did the research, played Cam Zerhart, and then put Gawn as captain, and then
still would have maybe just come up short. Still would have come up short. We lost by 100.
Just under 100.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to move on.
We are going to move on. We are going to move right on to the team. This is the situation. So Tanner Bruhn, remind you, backtrack.
There's a bye this week for 2 teams.
Yes,
Carlton and Brisbane.
Yeah,
we do not have any Brisbane players.
Yeah,
unfortunately. We do have some Carlton players.
Mm-hmm.
So the way the league works, from the round 0, we get to choose whether to take their score or not.
Yep. So we're taking Cripps' score,
which was a 78.
Yep.
Was it a 78?
Something like that.
I believe so. Let's just double check. 78. Okay. And
so that's already putting us behind the 8 ball. But anyway.
Yes and no. And then Mitch McGovern's score, which was a 90, if I recall correctly.
First game.
It was a 90.
Okay.
So we've got 90, and then Sard scored a 55. We're not going to take his score playing. However, we're going to make him the emergency. And in case we need an emergency, we'll have a guaranteed 55 from Sard. So yeah, that's why there's 2 empty positions on our field for Cripps and McGovern.
Right.
We've just seen the teams. It's Thursday right now.
It's Thursday, 6:40 p.m., just before the Collingwood St Kilda game. What we should start off by saying is that Tanner Bruhn is injured.
Unfortunately, he did get... You said he got a head knock.
He got a knee to the head, and then went off, came back on and scored an 88, looked fine.
Played 65% of game time.
Yep.
So he should be right. It's not a long-term...
I don't think so.
Situation, but they're obviously wary. Head knock. That's the way the cookie crumbles. It is what it is.
So what it means is we have to leave a player empty here, as you can see, because that'll be Cripps' score.
Correct.
But what we need to decide now is, we're putting Brad Hill into the midfield because Tanner Bruhn has to come out.
The only option with the way our team is structured right now is Brad Hill.
Yes.
Sorry, that's actually not true. There is an option for Ryan Burns to replace Tanner Bruhn. Now, St Kilda are playing tonight, so there is a loophole opportunity with 1 player.
Yep.
We need to decide, actually a couple players in a few different positions. We've also brought in Max King.
Let's see that gallery begins.
For Ben King.
We got a little bit trigger happy on Ben King the week before and realized that Max was available. So we felt like Max would be better than Ben.
Granted, Ben did play in horrible conditions.
I hope we haven't gotten trigger happy.
But he scored a 7.
Yeah.
I mean, even Lukosha scored better than that. So, oh no, that wasn't the same game.
It was the same game.
Oh, it was the same game.
Was the same
Sorry,
game.
Max. Max King played again in a losing side against Geelong away and still scored a 96.
Yeah.
Saints will be playing at Marvel. Good conditions.
Tonight?
No, in general, throughout the year. This is kind of
right. That's true.
The thought process behind why we've gone Max over Ben.
Gold Coast do play in some pretty
horrendous conditions, tough conditions. Not to say that we don't think Ben's going to have a good year. We just got to make a decision.
We think Max is better than Ben.
We think Max is. Also, Max has had a bit more continuity in his football than Ben has.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably a little bit more developed, advanced at this point.
Yep.
So that's what we've done. And now I've got a bit of a pickle in decisions and what we're going to do. We've also
picked up.
Welcome to the team,
Todd Marshall. This guy comes home, long day at work. He's just had an epiphany. Todd Marshall been on the waiver wire the whole time. And we felt that when Michael Frederick came into the team that, you know, when Liam Henry left Fremantle, Michael Frederick would sort of pick up the slack. But I think it's the right move. Todd Marshall should average more than Frederick this year.
Well, if we're looking and comparing,
the only thing with Frederick is he might have the dual position status added to his game later in the year, but it's semantics.
Yeah. Looking at hard, cold numbers and facts, Todd Marshall scored a 74, yes, granted, against a poor opposition without kicking a goal. And he's at a more developed stage of his career, and he should average more in the entirety of the year. That's not to say we didn't make the right choice of picking Frederick.
Yep.
But Todd Marshall is probably more valuable, and I think Todd Marshall's too good to be on the waiver.
Agreed.
And you agree with me?
I agree. I'm with you.
Okay.
So those are the bits and pieces of news. We need to set the lineup.
Okay.
That's what we need to do.
Here's the question. So
yes.
Got to
defense is set.
Got to get rid of this guy. Sorry.
Oh, you right there, mate?
Very trigger happy mouse you've got here.
Oh,
all right. I'm just going to let
you. We want to do this.
He needs to go on the bench,
and we want to. Swap him with.
Just scroll down. Put in the empty position.
In here.
Yeah.
Oh, we have an empty position on the bench.
Well, no, we've created an empty position.
Okay.
So now the question here is.
Yeah. Brad Hill.
Brad Hill to the midfield, which I think we're backing Brad Hill again.
Also, because I'd want to play Max or Todd this week.
Correct.
I actually want to play Max tonight.
Well, that's where the loophole comes into play.
Okay.
So
it's a free hit, so there's no point in
potentially we might want to put Max King starting on the field, or we want to have him as an emergency, see how he goes.
And play who though?
Well, it doesn't matter. You're right. We would have to finagle something because we don't have a non-scoring forward playing.
But move one is Brad Hill to here.
Okay.
No?
Yes.
Like we have to.
So we're going Brad. It's ultimately Brad Hill over
Ryan Burns.
In theory.
And
now there's an empty slot on the field. Potentially we can put, because the lockout is on Saturday.
Are you saying because we've got Burns and a King
No, technically, actually, right now, Burns is going to play as our emergency on the midfield. If Burns scores 100, then we can potentially, here's the problem. We've got 3 Saints playing in the midfield. So if Burns scores 100 tonight, it's going to be really difficult to take his score because already Bonner and Hill and Winhager are going to be already locked out, and we're not going to want to replace him with Dacos, Newcomb, or Oliver. However, it's actually great. I just realized we're not locked in to take Cripps' score, I don't think, until the Saturday.
Great.
So we can potentially, if Ryan Burns scores more than Patrick Cripps, we can put Patrick Cripps
on the field, which would remove his score.
Correct.
And we would use Ryan Burns as the emergency.
Correct, which would take his score.
So for this moment right now, just leave the empty slot.
Yes,
in the midfield.
But that's also going to say that Winhager and Bonner and Hill are all going to score more than right. Like we have to take their scores.
I'm backing all three of them over
Okay.
Brian Burns. Ryan Burns might pull out 100 out of his ass. No worries.
Okay.
We'll deal with it.
So do we put Max King on the field, and then we're going to have to find a non-scoring forward, or are we confident in taking him and scoring him right now?
Who's Port playing?
Let's see.
Richmond at
Oh,
the MCG.
Yeah, they're gonna cream.
I would almost play Marshall over Finlayson.
Okay,
I would
actually
almost play him over Finlayson.
So wait, let's just deal with the Max King issue at hand.
Okay.
Are we taking a free hit, or are we going to we're going to bet on him?
I think I'm willing to bet on Max King. Why? I've watched Collingwood the last 2 weeks. They will play better tonight, but Max King's a problem for them. They don't have a defender that can match up on him. Darcy Moore's more of an intercept. He's not a great one-on-one defender.
The risk?
Is Max King worth the risk tonight to play?
As in, like, we have the option of potentially getting a free hit. It will impede a little bit on our team because it means we'd have to drop someone.
Well, that's
so
kind
if
of
we're
what
not.
I don't want to do.
Okay. Well, then you've answered the question.
I don't want to do that.
In comes Max King.
Yeah.
So we're not taking.
As in, you pick him up for a reason.
Yeah, we're not taking the free hit. Must be selected. Okay. Your mouse is very sensitive. Geez. Or is that just me?
You might just need some getting used to.
Okay.
It's,
I'm just clearly incapable.
You're up and about today, mate.
Okay.
I think you got to back in. You back in what we made the move. You got to back yourself in.
We've got a lot of players playing in this game.
Yeah. Does that mean Mitch Lewis is not playing?
Mitch Lewis is definitely not playing.
We're dropping him.
Well, he's dropped. He's playing Melbourne as well. We discussed this.
Yeah, we did at the MCG.
Yeah. Even if he has a great game.
All right.
Wait, so the emergency. So you're saying Marshall over Finlayson?
Well, it's Marshall over Finlayson or Zohar. I would assume. Or do you want to drop Lukosius, mate? Do you want to give him a little bit of a flick
against the Doggies? I feel like he's played.
They're playing
well.
at Mars.
I feel like he played well against them last time. Let's check out the weather. That is true. Lukosius kind of deserves to be dropped after.
I'm all for dropping players, but Lukosius was atrocious last week, and Lewis at least.
Oh, look at that! Bit of a rhyme. Obviously, not your first rodeo on here.
I've run with it twice in one video. Wow, I'm really scraping that barrel.
Okay.
So if we go, they played at Mars Stadium in 2022. I'm pretty sure. Right. Let me just go to the last time they played. Well, the last time they played, he scored.
He's scrolling for a while.
He didn't play.
He didn't play?
He didn't play in 2020. Sorry, this was 2022.
No.
Forget about that. They played last year in Darwin.
Yep. How did he go?
Let's look.
Round Bond.
He scored a 72.
And he kicked 5 goals.
So maybe a bit of confidence.
See, I remembered he played well against him last time.
Yep.
Conditions will be a lot better. Even based on Ben King's game last week to score a 7, the coach has scored a 32.
Zohar's playing Freo at Marvel.
Zohar was coming a bit up the ground, played a bit more midfield. Jai Simpkin is back.
Jai Simpkin is back.
Week. Oh, it's really hard to tell at this point.
So the question is, I mean, look, the Carlton forwards did a pretty. I mean, look, Richmond lose Gibcus. They lose a defender. One of their forwards.
I'm happy to back Marshall and Finlayson in
the same team.
Line. Yeah,
I'm down with that.
Jamara, lock,
no question. Love what I saw.
Max King, we've made that decision. It's Finlayson over Lukosius potentially, and Lukosius as the emergency. That's what it's looking like.
Do you want to give Jack Lukosius one more chance?
The question is, why do we draft him? Probably I'll take the hit on that. He kicked 5 goals and scored
74 last time. I mean,
Finlayson also struggled in front of the sticks and still scored a 69.
Yep.
And we're going to back Zohar in, hopefully to go closer to 80 this week. At Marvel?
At Marvel.
Okay, happy with that. I think Lukosius becomes, just based on last week, Lukosius becomes the sub, the emergency. and Finlayson moves into his place.
So
And that's the team.
Going to play Finlayson and Jack Lacoste. Finlayson and Marshall.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
You know what? Like it's fine.
But I'm happy for Lacoste to be
Good conditions at the MCG tomorrow.
The weather should be good. Yeah, it was good tennis weather. So
we've got to book that in.
Yes, we do.
Sunday.
Okay, Sunday's also nice.
21 degrees. Good day for a forward. You want to make him the emergency? You've done that.
He's the emergency. Unless you want Mitch Lewis the emergency. Hopefully the emergency doesn't matter for us this week.
If Jack Lacoste just goes off this week, I'll be filthy. Not at like you or me, just
well, that's the way. That's the way
the cookie crumbles.
Yeah,
we need to win.
We need to win.
We are already taking a reduced Cripps score.
We'll get to our matchup. Well, not necessarily.
True, not necessarily.
We've got the Ryan Burns out. Sard is our backup.
So we're kicking home the Saints tonight.
So Josh Dacos needs to score 100 for us to be a chance to win. And Brad Hill needs to go over 80. Windhagen needs to go close to 80. Yeah. And Bonner needs to go 90 plus.
Yeah.
We need, how many players are playing tonight? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's a lot of players.
5 players playing tonight. We need to be, we need to score like 450 plus.
Yeah, 400, 450. Especially with the
450 is a big ask. Yeah. We need to be like 420 plus, ideally. Can't be under 400.
Look, yeah. Is it big? So Hill, Windhager, and Bonner, because they're on the field, we're taking their scores tonight.
Locked.
Is what it is.
We don't really have an out. We don't have an
like Elijah's not playing and Bruin's not playing.
I mean, we've lost Doc.
So yeah.
Carlton have the bye, but it is what it is. And we've lost Tanner. We've lost Doc and Tanner, where we were relying pretty heavily on them to be stalwarts of.
Tanner's going to be all right. Next week we'll get Elijah and everything will be a little bit better. We won't have to rely on as many Saints playing, but also.
Is there another bye for other teams next week?
Yeah, 2 teams.
Don't tell me it's the Melbourne captain thing.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think of that.
It probably is.
No.
Okay.
Gold Coast and the Giants, which will present itself its own set of challenges.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Captain.
True, it will. But we'll deal with that next week.
Captain. Now, Oliver, we knew he was on managed minutes, but pigged it up in swarming conditions. Max Gawn responded as well. It's one of the two, right?
Yes.
Or can you loophole captain?
No.
You can't like vice captain Josh Dacos
and league rules.
Pussies.
We'll talk about
the league in a minute. Yeah.
So my thoughts are that Melbourne are playing Hawthorn.
Yep.
A lower opposition. How Max Gawn is playing against Ned Reeves. We like Ned Reeves.
We love Ned Reeves.
Household.
Yep.
Clayton Oliver has the potential to be tagged by Finn McGuinness. Check if Finn McGuinness is starting.
True.
And if that's the case, I don't really want Oliver captain against Finn McGuinness.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Done. Look, he's already
Don't
captain.
even question it. It's
okay.
gone.
Oliver is vice.
It's gone.
Done.
So this is the team.
That's the team. Let's look up.
Hey, Trent Rivers was not too bad last week.
No, but we need to see 80 plus from Trent Rivers.
We want to see the matchup. We're playing against Charlie G, whose team
Goldberg
is called the Grand Old Flag. He will have Dacos as captain tonight in his 50th game. James Sicily got escaped suspension, luckily.
That's a danger because Dacos is probably going 120 plus. Easy. So that's already 240 that you got to make up. So the hope is that Max Gawn
I think Gawn can
levels it out.
Yep.
That's dangerous too because
Sicily's pissed off. He's going to want to respond. He let his team down.
He is not going under that score for the rest of the year.
I reckon he'll score like a 140 this week.
If he does, then we are really up against it.
Yep.
Because that's like 400 points from 2 players.
Yep. Tom Cole.
Tom Cole, you never know what you're getting. Wayne Miller and JJ. Hopefully, won't do this.
JJ wants to be a Norm Smith medalist all of a sudden. It's just sickening.
Tukes a pig. He's got a solid team.
He does have a great
Tim
team.
Kelly, he has the potential to do that 57 or 110. There's kind of no in between.
Matt Crouch, he's on his redemption arc.
Yeah, that's a good pick, Matt Crouch, for this year. Connor Nash is a solid 80 plus. Willem Drew, I think he kicked 2 goals. So we're hoping that's closer to a 65. Durham, hopefully in the same realm, and Bailey Williams the same.
Why has he got no ruck? Oh, because he'll be taking...
So he's got Oscar Rowe's score. Wait, we'll just go through the rest of the team.
Yep.
So Oscar Rowe there. Shea Bolton, probably underwhelming. He'll probably score more. He's got a solid team.
He's got a really good team. Tracy's not playing.
Tracy, why isn't he playing?
He got hurt.
No.
I think of one of the other.
Tracy's actually low-key really good. He's just picked up Tracy, and I just realized that Sean Darcy's out, Jackson's soul rucking, and Tracy's chopping out. So that's a Draft Stars look. I've looked at it at Draft Stars. I think he had 12 hitouts last week, Tracy, and he kicked a couple goals. So, and I think I really rate Neil Bullen, and I think he'll respond. I mean, he has the potential to go 80 plus easy. Now with what he's got for the bye players, Brisbane, he's got 2 Brisbane players. Cameron, I believe, he scored an 80 or so
against us.
He scored a 74.
So he's going to take it.
Essentially, that cancels out Cripps, or Cripps is ahead by 4 potentially, and then Oscar O, I think, scored an 80. So we're ahead. He scored a 82 against us. So we're slightly ahead with our bye players being McGovern and Cripps, but not by much, and not enough that it's actually an advantage. So yeah, we're up against it. His team has the real potential to bang. I mean, and his midfield now is way more stacked than ours.
We got so many Saints that we're relying on this week.
And are Saints winning or losing? I haven't tipped. Fuck, I got a tip. But yeah.
Look, that's us for week 2. Got to stay calm. Actually, you want to talk about the league? A little bit of
well, no one watches.
No one watches.
So that's okay. So we can throw a lot of fuckery going on this week.
Oh, Geordie, all of a sudden, and some old mate.
Collusion.
Old mate didn't know the rules before the league had started, and he's never played.
Acknowledged by Jordan.
Yeah,
that if it wasn't against him, then the rule wouldn't stick. But because it's against him, he's making a grand concession, which makes no sense.
It's taken 1 week of real games for the fuckery to begin.
There was a lot of contentious chat about
Michelani, mate. We'll call it Michelani gate.
I think I'm just gonna stay Switzerland on that one.
But we'll just let the record show that we are aware that the fuckery has begun. There's a little bit of
a bit of shade been thrown my way.
Yeah.
So and you know what? Fair enough. Last year in the league was last year and wasn't very good, and off to the start.
For context, Ave and Geordie's the commissioner. They had a team together last year, and they've split. They've gone their separate ways, and Ave's recruited me as his co-coach, and Geordie's recruited somebody else as his co-coach. And so a bit of competitiveness coming in, and Geordie made a really nasty comment to Ave in the group chat.
Geordie was top scorer as well last week.
So
he has Tom Green, and who's the other one he has? I think Rosie and Tom Green leading his midfield charge, which is nice. Would be nice. I wouldn't be laughing if he gets a serious injury, or I wouldn't be. But that's just the way fantasy goes. We've lost Doc. We've lost Bruin this week. I think we're still drafted pretty well.
Yeah.
And we just need John Newcomb to go like 150.
We need our Blue Boys back in the team. We need Elijah playing.
Yeah. And then, so we're up against it. We've got a good opposition this week. And I think it's a pretty competitive league anyway. So we're going to be up against it most weeks.
It is. Just before we go, we might look at the ladder.
Oh, we can look at the ladder. Still in 8th position with a loss, which is not so bad.
So that's kind of what it looks like here.
I mean, would you rather be us, or would you rather be taking Jack McRae super early and then being told he's not going to play for the rest of the year?
True.
And I believe that was the same team as Sean Darcy as well, with his 3rd or 4th pick, and he had pick number 1. Shout out to you, Adam, racking racking him up. And
All right, that's us.
yeah.
All the best, mate.